InnerQuest explores various pathways through which you can connect with the infinite wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host today, and our guest is Dr. Janis Johnston. Welcome, Dr. Johnston.
Thank you.
Dr. Johnston holds a doctorate in counseling psychology from Boston University. She has worked as a school psychologist and a supervising psychologist at a mental health center and is also a private practice psychologist. Dr. Johnston, is it okay if I call you Jan?
Please.
Okay. Now, today we're going to talk about Moody Move. What is Moody Move and who should be interested in it?
Good question. I think everyone is interested in Moody Moves because we display them pretty much all day long. Our moods are very important. Sometimes people feel that they're positive, they're having a good day. Sometimes people feel that their moods are negative, as in having a bad day. But in reality, all of us have some of the positive ones and some of the negative ones. I think a moody move is both how you feel and how you behave. Children are very, very moody. In fact, parents may say that their 2-year-old is moody. Sometimes teachers and parents will call adolescents moody, but everybody has moody moves.
Okay. And why do you feel children are more moody than, say, adults?
I think children often express themselves in noises or lots of movement when they don't have the words to say exactly how they feel. This is true of the very young child, for sure.
And do you think parents role modeling what's going on in the home affects the moods of children?
Definitely. Parents really set the tone for how moodiness is displayed in the home. I think teachers sometimes set moods in classrooms as well, but certainly in the home, modeling is a huge effect on how a child will show one way of behaving or another.
Now, do you work with children and families in your practice?
Yes, I do.
And would you talk about what you try to teach? Let's start with the parents. What would you teach a parent who has a moody child?
Well, I often say to parents that there's plan A, which is act first, or plan B, which is breathe first. Take some deep breaths and think about what you want your approach to be with this particular child. And I think the parents who are able to take those deep breaths are probably going to have more choices in the long run, because if you act first, your first action might be copying the child's mood, and if your child is yelling, sometimes parents will yell even louder than the child just to be heard, but then you're off into big time trouble with moody moves.
Now, if a parent yells at a child or maybe says something else inappropriately, should parents apologize and set a good example for their children?
I'm in favor of parents apologizing, yes, because that's modeling. And you would want your child, if your child says something inappropriate to you, you would want your child to say that they are sorry. So parents can teach how to handle some kind of moodiness that maybe came out and was quite extreme and hurtful.
Well, I know that when I apologize for something I said that was inappropriate or wrong, I just feel better. The way I'm feeling while I'm apologizing is much better than what I was feeling when I said something I shouldn't have.
I think that's true for most parents.
Okay. And how many different moods moody moves are there?
Well, probably the sky is the limit. I have one list that has over 100 comfortable feelings or moods and over 100 uncomfortable ones. So I think there are quite a few, but if you want to boil down moods, you could probably say there's sad, there's mad, there's glad. However, the distinctive words, if we took some of those comfortable words, we might come up with feeling cozy or feeling thankful. Those are positive kinds of moods. And some of the ones that are uncomfortable, or sometimes we call them negative, might be dejected or a feeling of being troubled or upset. Sometimes having a special word gives a little more information. You might have a sad child, for example, who feels grief when losing a pet, or the child might feel sad, as in disappointed that a play date was canceled. So the special words actually are very helpful, and parents can teach them to their child so that they can understand better what their child is feeling.
Yeah, now my neighbor has a child that doesn't speak. The child's 7 years old, and they actually use a chart,
Yes.
with different faces to express the mood. And as my understanding, emotional intelligence involves being able to discriminate one mood from another, and that's what I hear you're trying to do.
Exactly. That's a very helpful idea when the child isn't verbalizing. Some parents are even teaching a young child to sign because it's a way of communicating. And I think that if a child knows that their parent understands them, they will probably calm themselves much quicker than if the parent is angry, agitated, upset, and not able to understand exactly what it is that the child is trying to say.
And when when a human being is angry, upset, agitated, isn't there often a disconnect from the feelings?
Very often, anger is a deal breaker in so many relationships, but particularly in the parent-child relationship. It's a very difficult moody move. It's difficult to overcome.
Now, do you work with children of other cultures and ethnicities and races?
Yes, I do.
And do you find that the moods for children is cross-cultural?
Yes, there are moody moves among all kinds of children. And maybe we should just back up a minute. Moodiness is not just about a feeling state. Moodiness has to do with your energy level. So there's a physiological piece to this that sometimes parents aren't aware of. If you have low energy and you are stressed, that's a pretty bad combo in terms of having moody moves. So in the beginning of the day, a child's energy is likely to be on the low side, and you can run through mad, sad, glad all before breakfast is even served, both on the child's part and perhaps on the parent's part too.
When you say move through mad, sad, glad, meaning that there's 3 mood changes before breakfast?
3 might be a minimal number.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
in some households, morning is a very stressful time.
Right, getting dressed, getting off to school, difficulty waking up.
Right.
And so what tips do you have for parents that it's hard to get the children moving and going in the morning?
Well, it actually starts the night before, because
Good point.
getting a good night's rest is a problem for very many kids, and for a lot of high school kids. We have people that are pretty sleep deprived, and so they don't want to get up in the morning. We also have a lot of kids that don't eat breakfast, so they really are lacking energy. They don't have enough sleep, perhaps. They don't have enough nutrition.